First tonight, how a hot August has led to the busiest ever summer for many of our beach patrols. The teams at Clacton, Walton and Frinton say they've carried out 8 rescues in the last 10 days.
Across the region there have been numerous incidents and 2 deaths. Yesterday, Trevor Yarker was lucky to survive when his inflatable dinghy overturned off Blakeney Point in Norfolk. Last weekend, 10-year-old Stella Akanbi died after being swept away at Clacton. And earlier in the month, 25-year-old Daniel Reid drowned in the sea off Great Yarmouth. In a moment, we'll hear from his parents. But first, Gareth George is in Frinton. Gareth.
Well, it's a blustery evening here in Frinton, but there are still people on the beach. And the region's beaches have been pretty crowded all summer, really. Could it be the staycation effect? Who knows? But what we do know is that the resources of beach patrols have been stretched to the absolute limit. Let me quickly give you one example of that. Last year, on this stretch of coast, boats were launched to recover inflatables 55 times last summer. This summer, it's already been more than 100 times. But despite the best efforts of the beach patrols here and across the region, there have been tragedies, and today the family of Daniel Reid spoke to Joel Mapp.
For Carol and Ian Reid, this is now the most difficult walk of all. Carol can barely look at the sea that took her eldest son and that still refuses to give up his body.
You just feel like your heart's been ripped out. He was our firstborn son, and he was born 9 weeks early. He weighed £3 2 ounces, and he fought so hard to survive when he was tiny, and to lose him in such a tragic accident, it was just heartbreaking, just absolutely heartbreaking.
Daniel Reid was 25. He couldn't swim, but 2 weeks ago he went to Great Yarmouth Beach with a friend. Strong currents pulled them both under. Daniel's friend was rescued. Daniel was never found. Other people on the beach mistook their cries for help as horseplay.
If someone had said that on that day, "Are those lads in trouble? Let's go and ask," he might still be here. They didn't. They thought they were mucking around. And tragically, we lost our son.
The Reids want other families to be more aware of the dangers of the sea and have begun a fundraising campaign for the rescue teams that tried in vain to save their son.
If we can keep the helicopter up for an hour or the lifeboat out for an extra hour, that extra hour can make a difference to getting some people back. And then it's, you know, a positive from a negative. It won't bring our son back, but if we can give someone else their son back or their daughter back, then there's something good come from such a horrible tragedy that happened that day.
The latest rescue attempt took place just here yesterday afternoon. 3 girls on inflatables being blown out to sea. It's just one of the many incidents the Beach Patrol here has had to deal with this summer.
Luckily, this is just a training exercise for Aaron Forsyth of the Clacton Beach Patrol. Last year, the team swam out to rescue people just 4 times. This year, the number of so-called free swim rescues has risen dramatically to 28.
Why such a big increase?
I think only because of the numbers of visitors to the beaches. There has, as I say, been a significant increase this year with the increase in sunshine and the high number of people in the sea.
And a few yards along the beach, day trippers still pause to read messages left for Stella Akanbi. They're still appearing close to the breakwater where Stella drowned. Just around the coast, here at Frinton, there could easily have been another tragedy.
3 young girls on inflatables were drifting out to sea from the beach here. A lifeguard spotted them, dived into the water, swam out to them, got them to link arms and then towed them back to shore.
That lifeguard was Beth White, and she was back on duty today, reflecting on how lucky the 3 girls she rescued were.
I got them to link arms, so they were all in a line of 3 basically in their inflatables. I grabbed hold of one of the inflatables and then just swam until I could touch the floor. When they could all touch the floor as well, I told them to get rid of their inflatables. The tide was turning at the time, so I think they were all good swimmers, they said, but I think the sea just got the better of them.
It's been an exhausting summer for the beach patrols here. They hope the start of the school holidays will bring some respite.
Yes, they're hoping the school holidays will mean fewer people on the beach and fewer emergencies. And Beth White had it about right there, didn't she? Good swimmers caught out by the sea. And for the district council here, the key safety message is this: use your common sense. Take time to think about the situation and environment you're in and what actions you can take to stay safe and out of danger. Back to the studio.
Gareth, thank you very much.
The hunt is on for robbers who wore black burqas to steal money from 2 travel agents at knife point. One incident was in Luton, the other in Dunstable. This report from our Home Affairs correspondent, Sally Chidzoy.
Clad from head to toe in a burqa, the robber, who's armed with a knife, tells 2 staff at the Thompson travel shop in Luton to walk to the bureau de change at the back of the store. After being handed a large amount of money, he orders them upstairs and leaves. 6 weeks earlier, a man in a burqa targeted First Choice Travel in nearby Dunstable. He threatened 2 members of staff with a knife, took cash and escaped through a back door.
We strongly believe them to be males. Reason being is that they both appear to have rather large gaits in their walk. One distinctively taller than the other. Another one, for the Dunstable offence, appears to be thicker set in his build. So we're quite confident that in both instances we are dealing with males.
Police want to trace 2 women who entered the Thompson store in Luton during the robbery but left when staff were forced to tell them the shop was closed. Detectives are appealing for information, saying they're keeping an open mind as to whether the robberies are linked. Sally Chidzoy, BBC Look East, Bedfordshire.
A